to Titan Talk. Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. Today I have myself, Captain Coop, we have our wonderful talent, Major McFarland.
How we doing?
So I appreciate you guys stopping by today. I don't know, someone was in here working because there's dust all over this thing.
Yeah, someone's smoking cigarettes, stashing over here.
I don't know what it is, but
They
there's
even make
stuff all
cigarettes
over
anymore?
this. But we wanted to thank everybody for joining us today. Obviously, and we thank you guys every time, and we wouldn't be doing this without you guys. So
Correct.
But today we wanted to talk a little bit about stress management. We've talked about it in the past, and it's a good thing to keep bringing up because this is such a stressful job. First, before I want to say thank everybody for commenting. New Rum, you were first. I watched it happen. Beatty, I know you tried to be first. You got to be a little quicker than that. A little quicker than that.
A little quicker.
And
Gotta be quicker.
but we wanted to, stress management is so important for what we do on and off duty. We wanted to make sure that we talk about this, not like super often, but we want to bring it up pretty often because it's super important. Being able to manage your stress on duty and off duty, being able to bring yourself back to a normality, I guess you could say, and making sure that you're at a level head every time you come into the work, because that is super important for everything we do here, being level-headed and being back to basic zero when you come in. So being able to differentiate that at home and leave work at work and then leave home at home, I think is super important.
Yeah. And I just want to point out I'm first because I'm in the studio, so
I win.
first. I win.
Actually, technically, I was first.
I guess. But you didn't claim it. So
That's true.
I do. So, yeah, no, he makes a really good point. Being able to kind of compartmentalize some of the struggles, or I guess the stress from work. It's a double-edged sword. You know, sometimes you have to be careful that you don't compartmentalize too much. You know, there's got to be someone or a way to express or share kind of some of that stress. You know, some of that is working out. Some of that is, you know, meditation, religion. There's all kinds of good outlets, whether that be just talking to somebody to kind of help take some of that burden off. It just came to my head. You probably heard about it, but I had an officer, and I won't say any names, that came in that was kind of experiencing some burnout and didn't really know how to express that. This was a young officer in probably one of our most active units, and the emotional maturity of an officer at this age, I was just floored. I was like, holy smokes, this person is maybe many years on paper, but the intellect and the emotional maturity is way beyond this person's years. And it was frustrating to see this person not be able to just kind of say, hey, I need help. You know, I need a break, because this person had a really good work ethic and was showing up to work, and what we call burnout is where you're kind of on autopilot. You catch yourself just going through the motions. You're at work, you're at home, you know, you're in bed, now you're back to work, now you're back at home, and so if you catch yourself in that, don't hesitate to reach out and let us know. And we have resources, you know, and so that I think it's the EAP, Employee Assistance Program, is good, and it's not just emotional stress. It could be financial or other stresses,
any kind of stress,
and they'll set you up with the outlet to go to. And you know, we set this officer up with that, and I remember when I told this officer, I said, "You're going to take some time off," and they were like, "Well, it's just I can't really afford to do it." And I said, "I'm going to give you a week off, you know, and I'm going to sell you my PTO." And you could just see
Relief.
that, yeah. I mean, this person, you know, obviously their head went in their hands and they were having a moment, but you could just lifted off of them, and it was almost like a spiritual experience. You know, I'm like, it's just to see and be able to do that for somebody, that, because I've been there, you know, you've been there, and it's a tough road to walk if you think you're alone. And that person was just on cloud nine, and we were kind of going around the office and looking at some equipment that they might need and stuff for when they come back. And I remember I could just see, I mean, the person just walked lighter, and you know, very thankful, and you know, hey, that's just what we do. And you know, and the last thing I said is, you know, you came here today, and this person was like, I thought I was gonna get fired, you know, because they were having just struggles. And it's like, no, of course not. You know, we're human beings at the end of the day. We're not robots. We're not machines. This isn't an assembly line where, there's computers operating all day. These are human beings dealing with human being problems, and other human beings that are not so nice some of the times, and we have to take the high road every single time, and
it takes a toll.
Yeah. And so the last thing I said when we kind of walked this person out was, I'm so glad that you reached out, and I hope you know that you had a bigger family than you really do, because we're included.
Yeah.
And there was the waterworks again, and that person went on their way, and we're going to have them back here in a few days and talk to them and make sure they're still good to go, and we'll get them back in the saddle. But those are just the kind of experiences that you go through having been here and done this for a while. So those of you that are newer or getting into the industry, hopefully there's companies like ours in your area that will take care of you like that, or agencies or whatever it is, because that's a huge part of it, is having that kind of group or that support group that recognizes that and that doesn't just horse beat you to death, because it's dangerous, and so don't compartmentalize so much that you can't talk to somebody about it, and make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And before I shut up and let you take over the next piece, there was another part here.
Well, it's funny. I was just going to use myself as an example, but that makes it even better, because I recently had one with my dad, and it's not something I've made public to a lot of people. There are people who know, and I think this is probably going to be the first time I've said it in open space in public.
It's on the internet. It's going everywhere.
I recently had one with my dad. My dad passed away recently, and the week after, when I got back after his passing, I got done dealing with getting him squared away, getting everything taken care of, getting things in line for everything that, because when it comes to my family, I don't really talk to a lot of my family, and my dad was kind of like my stable. And when I got back that first week, I remember I think it was probably the first 3 days, it felt like I was on autopilot, like I wasn't here. I was awake, I was asleep.
Yeah, because you're not.
And it felt like I didn't exist. And I'm not going to say who it was, but somebody noticed it. And I'm not one that likes to talk. I like to hold that stuff back and keep it away and compress it and get it to go away on its own. And it wasn't working. I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it to do it. And this person pulled me aside after work and took me out to a bar and was like, "Hey, we're going to talk, because you look like you need to." And I don't think I'd ever felt so relieved than that moment. Because somebody else, I knew others had noticed it, but everybody was giving me my space that everybody here knows that I usually like to have. But this person was like, "No, I'm done. Your space is up. Right. It's my time to interject." And I don't think I felt, like I said, that relief of knowing that somebody cared was just monumental to me. It changed everything for me that day. And knowing that I have the family here, that with my brothers and sisters here at Titan, I knew that I could reach out and everything like that. I'm not one to like to, and I've used the other resources before, but just having that reach out of, "Hey, let's go talk," was just everything changed. Everything lifted. I felt better, and to be able to have the wherewithal of, I knew I should have talked to somebody the day before that. Is when it was really starting to get to me, and I noticed that I was on autopilot. But having the emotional maturity to be able to do what that person did and reached out to us, it's amazing. Because you'll have guys like me or him that will refuse to reach out to somebody because we're not that's not how we were taught.
That's not a cool thing. It's just I have a hard time with it.
Yeah, and I have the same way.
Not proud of it. I've never been one, but I will. There's a few, and there's a few people. Some of them are here that'll pick up on it, and they'll be like, "No, you're not stowing this away."
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, and so, but that's not. That was leading me to the next point. That kind of why this industry, or people in this industry, security, law enforcement, even military. I've got friends of all likes, and there's a lot of similarities. Where you've got to be a tough guy and take it on the chin and move on, and some of that is how you get through some things, just being determined. But when it comes to your mental health, powering through that stuff can be dangerous, and so you have to, and I'm no expert, so please don't think this is gospel. This is just my experience, and I'm speaking from my experience, and he's doing the same. But sometimes you have to, and we talked about this before. I think it was probably about over a year ago, we did that "It's Okay to Not Be Okay" kind of show, and dealing with stress. And this time of year, stress levels and depression levels
Skyrocket.
or however, whichever way you look at it, go up or down because of the weather, and it's dark longer in the day, and it's just I'd always heard of seasonal depression when I was growing up, and when you're a kid, most people with that have a good childhood and don't have a lot of struggles, you're a kid, you're happy all the time. So I was like, what the hell is that? As you get older, you kind of pick up on that. There's struggles, bills and relationships,
family,
all
work,
kinds of stuff,
everything. Everything kind of plays into that.
And so when you're in the dark all the time, especially having worked overnights, I noticed a big difference in my demeanor or just kind of my temper and my attitude coming off overnights, because there's certain things that your body just kind of craves, and whether that's vitamin D from the sun or whatever. Again, I'm no medical professional, not pretending to be, but look for those factors. And don't fall into the they'll think I'm
They'll think I'm weak.
Yeah,
That's
they'll think
not
I'm
true.
weak if I need help.
Yeah,
And it's just not.
it's
It's
not
actually
true.
the contrary. The guy that can sit up and say, "Hey, I've made a mistake here, and I've repressed this issue, or this sadness or whatever it is, or just uneasiness, anxiety, whatever." Someone to stand up and say that, "Hey, I need to get checked out."
I have an issue.
That takes a lot more courage than just silently kind of being like, "No, they're going to make fun of me." And so just think of that when you run into those issues. And some people may never have that issue, but some of us do. I have, and it's
I think at some point everybody runs into a position where it seems like everything is too much, and there's nothing wrong with reaching out for assistance or for help, or reaching out. And it doesn't have to be someone at work. It can be a friend. It can be a family member. It can be somebody that you trust. I have someone that is family to me, but we're not related. That person is my family member to me, and I don't care what. There's no blood relation. There's no marriage relation. Nothing like that. It's just that person's family to me, and that person has helped me a whole lot in the past, and I will always continue to rely on that person when I need it. And to have that, and to know you have it, and be able to reach out, that's strength.
Of course. And overnights do make you feel like Batman. Of course they do. Especially if you have the Batman voice. I'm Batman. But
Those are
the other one
early
is
warnings for me.
Yeah. The first step is recognizing the signs, and some of those related to this industry are that burnout. Of working a lot of overtime. Everywhere's short staffed. A lot of our units are short staffed, and those are specific units that have to have specialized training and certain credentials. And so we don't have. It's not like I can just go and grab one of Coop's guys and say, "Hey, I need to fill in over here for this unit," because it's like no, they're not qualified, or vice versa. And so those units are having to double down and pull extra hours and overtime, and that's where, if you see signs of fatigue there, then let us know. We will always find a solution to a problem. We've yet to run into that, to where we're just throw our hands up in the air. That's kind of what sets us apart as a company.
We don't give up.
Yeah, we just don't. And a big part of that is that family bond that most of us have formed, and pretty much anybody that watches this podcast that works for us, it's probably why they watch it. There's a handful that don't work for us that watch it, but it's just because of the relationship we've built, and a lot of that comes from there's a bond, whether it's a trauma bond or whatever you want to call it. We're all kind of in this together. We're wanting to make a difference and make the world a little bit better place. And
Lavi brings up a good point on that note right there. He says it can be tough. People drawn to this type of work are wired to be strong for others, numbing ourselves to our own stress, anxiety, and etc. And he's 100% correct.
That's very philosophical.
Yeah,
Lavi.
but
Thank
I
you.
mean, it's extremely
Basically
true.
summed up the podcast, so we'll just go ahead
we're gonna
and
head off. But
that's well said, though. It really is.
And that's perfect, And his second point is, if you stay in that long enough, eventually you start thinking of the downward spiral, and it gets worse and worse and worse. And he's 100% correct. And the very final part of that is we need to watch each other's backs on this issue. When someone says, I've seen it before, and I've seen it before on vehicles where it says, "I've got your 6." And I've seen, Velcro things for plate carriers or for bags. It says, "I got your 6" and stuff like that. And I always see those, and to me, I always wondered, that's a physical thing, but to know that I have McFarlane And if he when he tells me I've got your 6, I know that's more than just I've got your back at work. It's I've got your back if you need something. That's a true I got your 6. And to know that I have that resource, it's incredible. And for everybody who works for Titan, you have that here. You have that with us if you need it. Mm-hmm. We've got your 6. That's what we're here for. And for those of you who don't work for Titan, to be able to say and to look at yourselves and your family members or your friends or a coworker, and to know that you've got that in a person out there, you have it. You just need to identify it, and to be able to use that resource.
Yeah, and I've seen those. I don't think I've ever said the phrase, but no, it's very true.
Yeah,
I've seen them on trucks and stuff. But yeah, that's someone that's probably been in this industry because it's just kind of a phrase that they use. But no, I was trying to think. I was like, I've never actually said that, but it is true. I mean, I do support all you guys. So
I know you've never said it, but you said I've got you.
Yes, of course. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the role of your support system and the importance of building that. And if you don't have it, that's why you guys got to reach out. And so that's that EAP program. Mm-hmm. I don't know where it's at in Track Ticket, but we can probably find that out and get that information to you.
Absolutely.
If you want to know sooner than the next podcast,
you can always reach out to a supervisor and we can get them to you.
Comment on here too.
Yep.
Excuse me. Comment on here and we can get that information to you. The last thing we want is somebody to need help and not know where to get it. So, excuse me. Sorry.
And if you want the information and you don't want to put it on the podcast, you want to kind of remain to yourself, you're welcome to call the supervisor line. We take that stuff extremely seriously. We'll obviously keep it to ourselves. We'll get you all the information you need and make sure you guys are taken care of because that's what we're here for. We're here to help you guys in any aspect that we can. But stress management and that type of stuff, it is so important, guys. So make sure that you're taking it extremely seriously. It's a light. We like to think of it as a light subject, but it's extremely important. Like I said, we've talked about it before. We're going to talk about it again and again and again because that's how important it is. It's something that we're going to continuously bring up and make sure that you guys are aware of it and you're taking care of yourselves because it's so important. This isn't something that we want taken lightly. This is something we want focused on. We want everybody to understand.
Yeah, and again, there probably couldn't be a better time of year. It's cold, it's dark, it's like negative out. It's like negative 20 was a wind chill. It's just it's easy to go to a bad place when you're not in a comfortable environment. Last little story I'll tell. One of my military buddies that just kind of been a mentor to me. He's a few years older, and he did some real cool guy shit overseas, and so I've always kind of looked up to him, and he's always just kind of given me little life nuggets of advice, just really intricately placed through my life, and it's weird. So we've always had this really close relationship. And he's kind of the guy that I would go to, that I could feel comfortable talking to about stuff that was a problem to me. And I knew he would never be like, well, that's not a problem. You should, you should suck it up, buttercup. I mean, he would just because that's how we are. But when he knows I'm really struggling, he's always he knows what to say, or honestly, he'll just sit there and won't say a word. And that sometimes is what you need. But anyway, so I was telling him one time, we were talking about something and it's more of a military thing than for our side of the industry. But he goes, if you're warm, you're not wet, and you got food, you're I won't use the phrase he used, but he goes, you're sitting pretty good. And so sometimes you got to slow down and just remember, you're not outside, you're not wet, and you've got some food. Those three things, take one of those three. Take one of those three things away. And you could really be in a tight spot. And they always say, society's three full meals away from anarchy or whatever it's called, or 3 days of food away from something like that. And when you start to put it in perspective like that, it really kind of resets your attitude or your mood.
It's funny you say that. Yeah. You've got a place to sleep, food, and that, and not wet. I watch a survival camping guy every so not all the time, but I watch some of his stuff, and he goes, there are 3 basic rules that I follow. He goes, and I'll sacrifice on one as long as I've got the other 2 in spades. He goes, I won't sleep wet.
Yeah. I
always have a warm meal, and then he always has some type of structure to sleep under. He'll never. Yep. He goes, I'll always have 2 of those guaranteed.
Yep.
He goes, but go light on the third on one of them, but I will always have two of them in spades.
Yeah, his was, you don't realize how miserable you are when you're wet, and you don't want to be.
Oh yeah, no.
He said, all shelter and food is one thing, but being wet,
Wet
when you don't want to be,
sucks.
because you can't sleep when you're wet.
Yeah.
And it's hard to go work for food when you're wet. So there's a lot that goes into it.
Mr. Beatty, I have not heard of the halt method. So if you could throw that in there for me, I'd absolutely love to see what that is. I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, I was about to ask him, so I gotta.
But no, I have not heard of the halt method. So absolutely enlighten us, Mr. Beatty, because it's actually something I'd love to hear more on that stuff.
I know there's like breathing techniques, but that's for other stuff. I don't know what it's called.
Stress.
It's like 4 in, hold it for 4, let it out for 4, and hold it for 4, 4 back in. It's a box breathing. I can't remember exactly. I'm probably screwing that all up.
The only one I know that, and it's funny, I got it from a movie and it works, is the woo-saw.
Yeah, woosah.
It's where you rub the earlobes.
Yep.
And you
Goose
breathe.
fatwa.
And I can't remember. It's Bad Boys. That's what it's from.
Yeah.
And I heard it there, and I was stressed out one day, and I tried it, and I was like, this actually works. I think it's a placebo effect, but it worked for me. So
It might work.
every now and then, if I'm super stressed out, I'll do it. Hungry, anxious. You're almost there. You're 2 in. Come on.
Hungry, anxious,
Cliffhanger. Lonely.
tired.
Probably. Tired. Yep. Hungry, anxious, lonely, tired. All right.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
The one for me was the wet part. I was like, yeah, that would suck. Like, I mean, I've been running around with my friends out in the woods, and I was younger, and we get rained on, but then we always had a home and a hot meal to get
Yeah.
to, and dry clothes. And he goes, dude, don't ever underestimate the power of being dry, sheltered,
Fed and
and
sheltered.
Fed.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn it. Okay, my day's
That's
not
a
that
point.
bad. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
All right. You win.
Other than that, guys, we've got some more key points we'll touch on next week. We've always kind of stressed, the importance of mental health and stress management, and I would be lying to you if I said that I never struggled with it. So again, if this is something you have issues with, reach out to us or reach out to, a professional or someone that you can trust, because I'm by no means an expert whatsoever.
No.
I still struggle with it daily. So it's just important to. It's one of the biggest killers, because of stress and what it does to your heart and your cardiovascular system. And, those are main things that we want you guys to take care of and stay healthy with. And again, don't think I'm up here telling you because I'm some guru. I'm not. I am, I have
human.
much to learn still myself, but I just want to share a few little nuggets of wisdom like my buddy does to me, to you guys, to get you guys where you need to be, or at least hopefully on the right path. So.
Absolutely. So don't forget, you can always reach out. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you guys out the best we can. For that, we're going to dive into the weather.
Yeah, it sucks.
Absolutely.
It just sucks.
So here's what we're looking at. We're looking at 11 degrees today, which is absolutely not true because it's cold as all get up. Tomorrow we're looking at 14 degrees, 32 on
Yay.
Sunday,
There we go.
37 on Monday with light rain. We have fog on Tuesday with 40 degree. And then Wednesday is 39, 44 on Thursday. Friday is 40 with rain all 3 days. And getting back into that next Saturday at 37 degrees. So it's looking like it's getting a little warmer from where it has been, which is a good thing, but more than likely,
Oh, that
knowing
reminds me.
Kansas and Missouri, it's going to have a wind chill, so keep that in mind.
So these cups are supposed to be
was
like
waiting.
see-through, clear. It's actually gotten a lot. Hold on, let me go get one from out there. Hold on.
So he's trying to show how cold it is. So these are normally like it's normally like a white a white translucent color. These turn a very blue color when they're cold. They're temperature changing cups. He's he got a whole stack of them.
How cold they are. Eat me. Look, that one's. Look, you can see how much warmer that one has just been sitting in here. This is by the window.
Yeah, it sits in the hallway right here. We've got a hallway, and it's got nothing but
I'm
windows.
leaving those there.
And of course you are.
Someone's gonna be like, "What the hell?"
And that's how cold it's been. So guys, remember, with the cold weather, dress warm. Wear those under layers, Under Armour, and stuff like that. Stay warm. Layer up with the jackets if you've got them. If you don't, please remember to reach out to April. And as soon as we've got those in stock, she gets those divvied out to everybody as fast as she can. But other than that, guys, stay warm out there. Have a safe weekend. Remember, hydration is key, and hydration is the day before, not the day of. We had a phenomenal...
Dude, I was thinking about this the other day. Sorry to elongate this more, but I think that phrase was one I used, and then somehow you just said it more than me.
No, it wasn't me. So what it was is you started it. You said, and you did it. You went phenomenal.
No, the hydration one.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was because that's something I was like, wait a minute. I mean, it's much better coming from you because now it's like it's your signature. But I was like, dude, I say that. And I was like, I wonder if that's right.
I think you got it from me.
I don't think
it could be. This could be the Mandela effect.
No, I don't think so. Is that what that is? We were talking about that the other day, or no, today. I was talking about chondrosis and
the Mandela effect.
What? No, the one where it's like there's the Berenstein Bears
or
the
Mandela.
It's Mandela. I thought
it's a Mandela effect.
It was the.
No. So here's one. And someone pointed this out to me. Fruit of the Loom. Have you seen the logo?
Yeah, with the cornucopia or whatever.
Yeah. Do you know if you look back to the history, they never actually had that.
The cornucopia part. Yeah, I've seen it.
But here's the funny thing. I have shirts
with the cornucopia
on it.
So they took it off.
Yeah. But if you look on their website, like through their history of like the symbol, they don't have it on their thing.
Yeah.
But I actually have shirts that have that on there, and I'm like, what?
And so it is the Mandela effect. I thought it was because that's what I thought it was called something different.
Like there's things of that all over. There's things with that with Disney movies and stuff
there's
like
the one with the Luke Skywalker where he's like, Luke, I'm your father, Darth Vader, but it's not how he says it.
That's not what he says.
It's like, I'm your father. Or no, he says, what does he say?
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, no, it's crazy.
What's up, preacher?
Preacher, welcome. Good to see you.
Hold on. I know I'm holding
He's going to look this one up, but
I have to.
Where did you guys get up talking about the Mandela effect?
I don't know. You brought it up. Because
you brought it up.
No, because I was the one that used to say hydration starts the day before, not the day of. And somehow it got coined with you on a.
I think you got it from me. I really
it's
do.
a false memory. Hold on, look at the Star Wars one.
Apparently,
Pikachu from Pokemon has one.
Yeah,
I think the tip of the tail. Yeah. Star Wars.
It's okay, dude. How do you spell? You're not going to know this, but I saw one.
I can't spell and I'm stupid.
No, it's because it's Pokemon. I don't think you know Pokemon.
Ooh, the Monopoly one.
How about there's the one that I saw with Pokemon. It's Onyx. How do you spell Onyx?
Onyx. Logic says O-N-I-X, but no A-N-I-X.
No. I don't remember like the new version, but the one I know is O-Y-N-X.
Oh wow.
But the newer, that's not how it's actually spelled or something like that. But yeah, stuff like that. Are you looking at the Star Wars one still?
Yeah.
It's taking you forever.
Too long.
I'm running out of stuff
There's
to
a
talk
Tommy
about.
Boy one in here. I'll look them up for next time. But
we're not.
Dude, it's like a clickbait one. It was just like, does he say it? And then there's like a picture, and they're trying to sell me some like gas mask, and then something else. I don't know what was going on.
So we're going to let you guys get to enjoying your weekend. Thank you guys so much for everything you do. We wouldn't be able to do this without you.
Bring some Mandela effects to the next one because I love studying these things.
All right.
It's interesting.
You heard it from him.
Yeah.
Bring
I'm
Mandela
a very
effects.
nostalgic person, so I'll see that. Like, I know that. And they're like, no, this is actually what it is. And you're like, holy shit.
This rabbit hole is phenomenal. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. Have a safe weekend.
One last thing you want to talk about.
Oh.
See?
Thank you. So I'm going to stand corrected. We're not ending it because I want to make this. I put this in the
I could have
description.
You could have been researching this whole time.
We've got a few of these in. I was gifted this. I brought them in. I was gifted these from somebody who really wants us to do these. So you remember when we did the hot sauce thing where me and Mike participated and he was too scared to?
It was my sauce. I'm not doing that again. I will participate in these because I haven't had these.
He got us these ones. I've got some kosher-friendly ones coming in as well, and we are going to be doing it again. So we're going to be taste testing some hot sauces. This is called the Ring of Hell.
Should we let them choose?
Roulette. Well, I figured we'd spin it.
Okay, we could do that.
One or two of those spin, and then I've got a few coming in for Mr. Lavi. He's going to be joining us.
My guess is so we got habanero hot sauce, jalapeno, chipotle, Casabella hot sauce, Carolina Reaper. I'm going to stop right there. The Carolina Reaper is going to be the hottest one.
Yeah,
and I'll do that one. I'll do probably all of them except for maybe wasabi. I don't like the flavor of wasabi.
I don't think you can taste it. I haven't tried any of them, so
probably
I don't know.
So hot you probably can't. Habanero green hot sauce. That one might be the hottest one. Carolina Reaper's pretty.
Carolina Reaper's pretty hot.
Yeah.
So
be fun.
you guys have this to look forward to. Like I said, this is just we've got a few more coming in, so that way I can bring Lavi in it because he offered, and I want to torture him too. So keep that in mind. That's coming up soon.
Mr. Potter.
Joe wants in. He might want in on this. We might do that with I'm thinking of doing something with a guest where we have them suffer through it with us, but I haven't made the decision on that. I mean, besides Mike and Lavi, obviously they offered to do it, so we're going to drag them in on it. But I mean, like having
We got to
like
get somebody
outside
that,
guest.
we got to make sure they like hot sauce because we don't
Lavi's
know
okay
how.
with it.
We should have somebody. Well, I know who's the one that
I
got
tried
you
to
that.
I tried to get Leon to join us, and he goes no.
He likes hot sauce, but not ruin your day hot sauce. The guy that gave you that gift, I know who it is. He should sample all of them so he can rate them.
Brian doesn't like hot sauce. I think we put it to a vote. If we can get, let's do 50 likes on the video, Brian will do it. Come on, Brian, what do you think?
50 likes. That's obtainable. So, yeah.
Actually,
shave my
I'll do it.
eyebrows. 100,000 likes.
How about this, Brian? If you're okay with it, I'll up it. Instead of 50 likes, let's do 150.
Whoa, triple?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go make 150 accounts.
It's still obtainable, but if Brian's okay with it, Brian, before I can confirm 100% with this, I need you to say yes in chat. You have to. Come on, man. It's for everybody who watches.
It's for science. I'll fill it in.
I love the likes, but okay, yeah, I love the idea. So is that a yes? That's a yes.
Yeah,
All right.
That's Brian's weird way of saying
all right,
it.
so
100,
150 likes on the video, and Brian will do one with us as well.
Well, guys, invite your friends. I'll say it one time just because I want to watch Brian eat something he doesn't want to eat. Smash that subscribe button and hit that like
There you
button.
go.
There's there's a new South Park that's really funny.
Oh no.
It's fantastic. It's all about kind of social media and influencers and stuff. So
we'll let you guys go on that note. We appreciate it so
Smash that like
much.
button.
Thank you guys, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Stay safe.